What's up, guys? It's been 2000 yugioh. I am your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero, and we are back again for match number 3 of the Structure Deck Wars. Stick around. Alright guys, so today's video is going to be the Rocket Structure Deck versus the Lost Sanctuary Structure Deck. Now, for transparency's sake, I want you guys to know this match was actually supposed to take place a little bit later in the tournament, but I decided to just go ahead and take the one that was supposed to go next and take the Rocket Structure Deck and go ahead and swap it. I did not realize that it was coming out this week, it will be out today as of you guys seeing this video. So I decided to go ahead and just swap it around. That's just for transparency's sake, so you guys know. Because I'm sure if you guys go and watch the one, this is supposed to be like episode 12 or something like along those lines. And I just decided to go ahead and do it as episode number 3. So, now that that's out of the way, basically it's been, for the first 3 matches because of this, it's been basically Dragons versus something else. We had round 1 where it was Dragons versus Monarchs, and it was the newer Felgrand Structure Deck. It took the win. We had Blue Eyes come up against Wave of Light, and unfortunately Blue Eyes just couldn't hack it, so the Angels won that fight. But it's kind of funny because now we're doing another Dragon deck, Rockets, versus another Angel-based deck, the Lost Sanctuary deck. These agents, basically. And basically you guys are going to be finding out who's going to win this fight. Will it be the Angels? You know, they have a pretty good record as of late, you know, kicking some Blue Eyes' ass, but can they beat Rockets? Or will the Rockets just, you know, blast them into the next century? I can't wait to find out, guys. So, let's go ahead and find out. We're going to watch some replay footage showing you guys who's going to win, and then we'll talk about it in the end. Alright, there you have it, guys. This is the episode 3 of the Structure Deck Wars, and the winner of this bout is Rokkets. Now, each of these decks did actually, this is kind of funny. During our battle with this one, it was very much a kind of back and forth thing, and now I'm going to show you why this fight was actually very back and forth. If the replays didn't give it away. Let's come over to the Lost Sanctuary deck real quick. Test deck 2. Okay, so as you guys can see, this deck's a little bricky and a little old, but there is a few things that I'm sure you guys noticed, which were the reason why they were able to actually fight off the Rokkets a little bit. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Consecrated Light. Basically, this card comes out and the Rocket deck just goes, well, I lose. Because they can't attack with dark monsters, and they can't special summon dark monsters, and all the Rockets are dark monsters. So if for example, that's one of the reasons why this deck actually had an advantage. They could just summon Consecrated Light and instantly stop this thing. Now, one of the issues with this deck was it only had a handful of ways to get to Consecrated Light, so therefore, because that wasn't consistent, therefore they couldn't, they couldn't win. The other part of it is they also have another card that was basically anti-dragons in it, and it's Victoria. Basically, she's just like, oh, I'm going to steal your dead dragon and use it for me, which is very powerful, very useful, and that was just one of those things that they could do. And then, of course, they actually have a little bit of ban cards to help them out. One of them being, boom, Return from the Different Dimensions. So it was like, oh, yeah, if I got enough fairies, I'll just banish and it's just, here's the thing, actually, this might sound bad coming from me, but based off of this duel, I might argue that this card could come back. I'm sorry to say it, but it's a little bit slow. Trap cards are kind of slow right now, so. But that being said, these were the 3 cards that kind of gave this deck an advantage. I mean, Hyperion. Here's the thing: they'd have a lot of destruction effects, which the Rockets just could just laugh at, like Hyperion and Smashing Ground. Here, they don't care about that. They're just okay, blow up my stuff, dumbass. And then, of course, so basically, for this deck to win, they would have to rely on their alternative win conditions, like Athena, Saturn, and they would have to, either that or they have to rely for a big push with, like, Mars and Honest. Basically, you're relying on these lines of cards for the win. Parshath was, again, very useful, able to draw cards, but this deck actually, it's funny enough, this deck did fairly well. It was very much a back and forth fight for this game, and this is actually an older structure deck, so I want to say that, like, man, I'm telling you, this was nuts. I mean, also the structure deck came with Solemn. It's just, it actually was pretty good. Everyone underestimates the Fairy and Agent deck, but man, if dark decks were like become the big thing, man, I wouldn't be surprised if this was actually something that somebody could revisit. I mean, it's got an anti-dragon card, it's got a Consecrated Light. I mean, Rockets are pretty weak against that kind of stuff. Alright, now we're going to come over to Rockets, and we're going to show you why they won for the most part. One being a newer deck, obviously, but one of the things that they had going for them over the other one is they actually had the ability to fight through all the back row problems. So, for example, yes, if Consecrated Light hit the board, it had trouble getting a way to get around it, but it did have other ways to get rid of the other stuff that deck had going for it. And since it only had one Consecrated Light, that's all I had to worry about. Like, look at it, Twin Twister. We could save ourselves some destruction, Return of the Dragon Lords. If it had drawn Imperial Order, it could have hurt them there. Had Red Reboot to fight Divine Punishment. Let's see, we had Magic Cylinder and Mirror Force, cards that just kind of tell the deck to screw off. And then, of course, we also had things like Squib Draw and, Quick Revolt. I mean, these were cards to give us quick access to our cards. On top of that, their newest boss monster, the Topologic Zeroverse, that may not be its English name, I don't remember. But the point is, this new dragon, or new Cyberse monster, is busted! This thing is like, oh yeah, I'll just banish myself and everything else, and then I'll come back. I don't know about you guys, that's pretty gnarly. And then you just stick it in the middle zone, where it's pointing at the extra deck zones, and watch your opponent go. Because then they gotta risk banishing their entire board again. So basically, this is Exciton Knight 2.0, and this is a better Exciton Knight, I would argue. It's just a lot harder to get out, but the lower level link stuff was meh. Fusion Monster was grade A, giving us another way to out certain cards that were like holding us back, like getting rid of Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen, and basically, say a Link Turret is basically this deck's equivalent to Return from the Different Dimensions. But basically, this is one of those cards that's just, oh my god, it's just, they basically gave a Soul Charge trap card for Rockets. So crazy. I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, you know, to quote Team Sam, I hate to say it, but he right. This deck is value. Man, I wish I had money right now so I could actually go out and buy the 3 copies of this structure deck. I'm broke as a joke right now, guys, but that's okay. Man, I don't know if I'd be playing Rockets, but I definitely would be tempted to play Rockets right now. Anyway, guys, so the good news for you guys is Rockets are going on to the next round, barely beating out the Lost Sanctuary. But overall, it was a great game. I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. So far, though, it looks like Dragon's got a little revenge for losing to an Angel deck. So now we've got an Angel deck going to the next round. We've got 2 Dragon decks going to the next round. And you guys, I can't wait to see where this all ends. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. This is a very fun little passion project of mine. So it would do me a huge favor if you guys would just give me one of these, so that you know, I know that you guys are enjoying this line of videos. Like I said at the beginning of the video, just for transparency's sake, the Rocket Structure deck comes out today, as you guys see in this video. So I thought it was a good idea to go ahead and just let you guys see the Rocket matchup. So I did a little switcheroo. Anyway, guys. I'm still in a race with yugioh Pro, so if you guys want to see me take the win there, he is, I want to say, like 2 or 3 subs away from 400, and I am like 40 subs away from the 500 mark. So help me get to the 500 mark so that I can beat yugioh. Because to be honest with you guys, at the beginning of this race, he was whooping my bootay with like 100 subs ahead of me, and now we're finally ahead of him. So it would mean the world to me if you'd help this underdog accelerate past him. Anyway, guys, I'm Ben 10,000 yugioh. I am your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!